But before we discuss those four paths, look at the second page that we have given you, the universal causal body, keeping you on your toes today. Okay, so here we have in the center a light. This is what we call the universal source, the universal light source, the cause of all creation. Around that we have this like film, like a spherical film, in which are imprinted the causal bodies of all things and beings. That is the causal body of humans, the causal body of fish, the causal body of animals, plants. And the light going through those causal bodies creates on the screen of life the various beings that we see and gives the impression that we are all separate from each other, and that we are all separate from the source, that we are separate from God, separate from nature, and separate from people. And this is the basic illusion which creates all of our problems. This identifying with this image here, which is just the reflection on the screen, or the projection, excuse me, on the screen, and not identifying with the source, which is the reality behind that projection. So our interest here is, as a human, how can I reconnect to the source of my being? How can I go in through the causal body and arrive at the source of my being, which is the source of all beings? All beings have the same source, the same creative center. And so that's why in the process of spiritual evolution, we begin to feel more unity with other people, more unity with nature, more unity with the divine. And this is why we start having access to what other people are thinking and feeling, because we, as we come in contact with our source, become in contact with their source, and have available to us information about their feelings, their life, their beliefs. Okay? So the question is, how can we move back towards the source of our being, and the source of all beings? So we need to choose, so the next reality which comes out of this is that anything that I see is a manifestation of the divine. Even this paper, if I focus on it deeply enough, this paper, I will realize it's made of molecules. And if I focus on those molecules, I will realize that it's made of atoms, and that the atoms are made of subatomic particles, and that the subatomic particles are nothing more than condensed energy. That matter is just condensed energy, and energy can become matter, and matter can become energy. And if I focus on that energy, I will realize that this is simply condensed consciousness. See, science has come to the realization that matter is condensed energy, but it has not come to the realization yet that energy is condensed consciousness. So this paper is nothing other than the divine, as is any plant, any human, anything that I can see. There's nothing that I can see whose source, or which source is not the divine, and which is not the absolute. So theoretically, by concentrating on anything, I can return to the source, if I can increase my concentration enough. Now the problem here is that I have to choose an object of concentration which serves two purposes. On the one hand, it has to be interesting enough to me to hold my attention, and on the other hand, it has to easily connect me, because I may not be inspired to see the divine in this piece of paper or in a bottle of beer. It's there, but it may not be so easy to me. It may be much easier to me for me to see the divine through an image of Christ, or through the sunset, or through a beautiful plant, you see. So we have to choose an object which on the one hand is inspiring to us and allows us to feel or connect with the divine by focusing on that, but on the other hand keeps our attention. Now, for example, the highest expression of the divine would be nothing, because you can't limit the divine to some image. The highest would be the void. But how long can you focus on the void? For example, if you're watching television and there's a movie going on which has a lot of emotions, may have sex, may have violence, may have love story, you don't have any trouble concentrating. This is, oh, I have to concentrate here. Your mind doesn't go to other things. You become totally absorbed because it is addressing itself to the lower centers. If on television it changes and it's a symphony orchestra, okay, you may be engaged for a certain period of time, but your mind could wander. If it's a blank screen and there's nothing showing on the screen, how long are you going to watch it? How long can you be interested? You see? So what we need to combine in the choice of an object of concentration is that which on the one hand holds our concentration, but on the other hand enables us to sense the presence of the divine or of something higher through that. And so there are 4 paths on this paper which calls the expression of the divine, and there are also other possibilities except for these 4 paths, but we're going to start out with these 4 paths.